Hi everyone, I'm Tim Stack from Entertainment Weekly, and I am here live at New York Comic Con at the Javits Center, the glamorous Javits Center. We're in the basement of the Javits Center, and I'm here with the cast of Evil. Hello, you guys. Welcome to.
Hello.
I love this show so much. It's one of my favorite shows, new shows of the new year. But what made you all want to take this on? I mean, a lot of you, a few of you have connections to the Kings, the creators, Robert and Michelle. But what sort of drew you all to this show? It's very unique.
Well, I think. Oh, Mike, go. Mike.
I was just going to say, all good actors follow good writing, and it was a really fine pilot script, and the show has such a great pedigree, and it seemed like a kind of thrilling idea to work on something a little outside the envelope for CBS, certainly.
Yeah, I was going to say all good actors sometimes have to deal with bad writing. And this show was so not that, and so extraordinary. No, but you know what I mean? Like, so many times you do things and you're like, okay. And when I read the script for this, I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
And to get to be a part of this would be extraordinary, so.
And I just like to say that all mediocre actors follow good writing.
Yes, it's true.
Sometimes fall beneath bad writing. So I decided to follow the good writing.
Yeah, and I don't ever do anything that's poorly written, so that's why I wanted to be a part of it.
And Mike, I don't think you've ever worked on something written before.
I basically just stand there. I just stand there.
Silent. You only do silent
Mime, most of that stuff. That's
This was really your first chance to speak. Which
exactly. I don't really talk much, so it's better for me.
Katja, in the pilot, you have scenes with this demon man named George. Tell me about that shooting. That is that an actual British man in like in a demon costume, or what's happening in that scene? I mean, tell me about that a little bit.
Not necessarily slamming the British. I don't know why.
Oh, no, sorry. I know. I didn't mean to,
No, he's a movement actor called Marty Martulis, and he's a great guy. I'd never met him outside of his suit while shooting the pilot.
Really?
So, yeah, he was lying on top of me for 2 days, and I did not know what he looked like outside of it. But his voice is done by somebody else.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I did not know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a question, Michael, about your character. Are you a demon? Like, do you guys know what you're like? Are you? What are you? Or are you like a psychopath? Because I feel like Mike's character at one point says you've met him in various forms, and that led me to think that maybe you're some kind of demon. I don't know what you can say.
That's thought-provoking, that thing that he said. I don't know, and we don't have meetings to discuss those things. I just kind of play it scene by scene. So far, he seems like a highly manipulative and dangerous Lord of Mischief or something like that. Whether he's human or not hasn't really come up, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was something other.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see.
I guess so.
That would be a nice development.
I would be into that. I was wondering, because so much of the show is sort of, about whether you believe, there's the believers in possession, there are people that don't. Has it changed your perceptions on, like, do you guys believe in possession now? Or are you more kind of like, nope, I'm good. I feel solid that demons don't exist.
Well, okay, so was documented like 500,000 cases of possession around the globe or something like that. I've never encountered it. I'm always, I never say 100% that something's not true unless I can, I just don't do that. Am I pretty certain it's not true? Maybe, but again, if there's 500,000 cases, who's to say, right?
Well, I think I'm very much the same as my character in that regard, that I think we can't say anything is possession. There's no way to prove that. And it also relieves people of their responsibility for their acts.
So,
Well, I must say that in an infinite universe, everything is possible.
Yeah, that's true.
That's sort of how I feel.
right.
Do you know how much of this, because the Kings, pull a lot from reality, especially, if you watch The Good Fight or The Good Wife, they use a lot of sort of rip from the headlines kind of things and then, make them kind of more clever than they usually are. But are these real stories? Like, are they pulling from reality for these? Do you know?
I would think that there's some influence. I think even if they were not doing it directly, there's subconsciously, I've read stories and I've heard things that I may not consciously remember, but it influences my thoughts daily, or sometimes it comes up in conversations and I don't know why they came up because I've heard it or read it maybe years ago. So, but I'm sure in their research they've come across things that make a great jumping off point for a story, and they may embellish or change it completely, but I think they're very resourceful.
Yeah, but they also do reference things that are going on in our world right now, which is always really smart and unexpected, especially because you're in this world unto itself, and then suddenly you get referenced of something that is happening currently. So that's a nice, it brings you, and also when they do reference it, they're making a point about something that's going on in our world now. So it's
I love
great.
how they're actually using and exploring the incredible power of social media right now in some of the episodes we've seen that no one else has seen.
Yeah.
Spoiler!
Well, no.
I know. What can you guys tease about? Where is this sort of? Will it be sort of like a case of the week in certain ways, where it's sort of like a possession of the week, or does it have a sort of more overarching plot? What can you kind of say? Okay.
There
think-
is-
yeah.
Wouldn't you say there is an
Overarching, yeah.
overarching themes, overarching intertwinings of relationships, personalities, wants, desires, and
There are things that we have to solve every week, but
some are
there's-
not solved.
Some are
attempt to.
not
Some
solved,
are
and
not
some
solved.
just hang out there and remain unsolved.
as it is in life.
Right. Is Christine Lottie in leather pants again? Because that, for me, was a win.
I don't think that's wardrobe. I think she just comes wearing leather pants,
whatever
and
she
then she
wears
just
is
wears
what-
whatever
Ride or die for
she
Christine
walked
Lottie,
in.
so, that is, I was.
Whatever she's in, she's looking good.
I always wonder this when people do scary movies. Do you get kind of freaked out on set, like like when the movement guy was there, or even when you guys are interrogating the man in the pilot, the guy that maybe is possessed, the killer.
Yeah, great actor.
Is that like? Do you get freaked out ever? Like, are there moments where you're like, ooh, that was?
I think it's like
chilling.
same thing like a sex scene or anything. You just it's technical and you have to do it. So
Yeah.
you're looking to influence the audience, but I mean it's too many moving parts to really participate in the fright of it until you have to in that moment. But we see the workings, we see the bells and whistles, we see all the stuff, and then you have to forget about it. But I don't think it's you can actually be frightened when you see a cameraman. I mean, you see the cameraman.
Yeah.
You see him.
And it's not the scary effects that frighten me in my work, but in the course of a given scene with another actor, there may be a line reading that makes your hair stand on end.
Right, right.
So I do kind of enjoy it when that happens.
Yeah.
I've never been asked to do a sex scene. So,
That's going to change. That's going
And
to
you know
change.
what? And you know
That's
what?
gonna
I'm
change.
going to
Talking
predict
about.
that's not going to change right
Okay.
now.
you know what? I am who I am.
Maybe at Comic-Con. Who knows? Who
You
knows?
never know.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks you guys so much. Evil airs Thursday nights on CBS. It's so good. It's wonderful. And stay tuned for more here at Comic-Con in New York.
Thank you.
Thank
Don't move.
you.
Don't move.
Thanks for watching.